Hi, my name is Dr. Cheryl Meier, and I'm in nature again. And I just kept thinking these beautiful thoughts. And I don't always have to be teaching, but I was like, oh, I want so much for other people to have access to these. Because I know that, there's pain in our hearts sometimes, whether we realize it or not, or however we're experiencing it. I did notice sometimes we experience it at the hands of others. Imagine that. The hands of our, oh look, it's a white butterfly. The hands of our society or a significant other or someone intimate in our lives. So the main essence of what I was contemplating today and what's been coming up is the idea of getting into the now, the power of now. Part of that, look at this leaf. I'm just going to set it down. Maybe I'll get it back later or not. Part of that shows up in my videos because we are here and we experience the now in my videos. Even in the ones where I'm in my office. This, I'll see a hawk in the middle of our teaching. I'm like, oh, hawk. And so I think not to analyze spirit, how inspiration moves us or what the loving forces, some people call it God or the Holy Spirit or divine love, the mystery, the ineffable mystery, not to define all of its workings in us, because I don't know why my inspiration leads me to do some of these videos or when it calls me to do it. I just try to honor that calling. Even when I'm like, oh gosh, I sang that so poorly. But in my mind, it doesn't matter. If it brings you into the now, then there's a higher purpose for that song. If it brings you into the essence of that song somehow, or into judgment even of me, I'll take it, because I don't take it. I don't take it in. I just don't mind putting myself out there for people's egos to flare up and, externalize it themselves in whatever flaws they see in me. They can't see it in nature, but I'm part of nature. So it doesn't matter. I don't mind because, of course, when I get in my ego mind, then I can mind, but divine love is working in me to help transform me so that I'm more powerful than any of that or more courageous inwardly, like in a humble way, not from external money or fame or strength or power. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying is there's a transformation that can take place in you. And the more you learn how to be in the now, the more we have access to see that. So I was listening to Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now again. And he quoted Christ. Here's Christ teaching us to manifest again. It's true. Because Christ knew how. And it's not about having the end be your goal. You can have an end. I can have a telos, an end. That's the word in Greek. It's like when you look out here, and if you understand divine love to be up that hill, then it's like that's your goal. But it's like divine love will help you every step of the way. If your goal is love, that you can be loving on the path to love. Okay, to rock. I'll sit here. Not that I don't mind walking, but I felt an urge. Oh, there's a lizard. Oh, I've sat here before with you guys. I remember the video. I think it was down here. All right. Well, I'll just sit here this time. It's near. Look at this. All right. So a few tricks to the now. I was reflecting how let me go with Jesus for a second. Well, when we're in the now, like if you're here present with me, or you're here present when I was singing the John Denver song, You Fill Up My Senses song, you get to just let go of everything else and be in the moment and feel that. And it feels so good to be in the now, because then you can escape from all your problems. And so what I was saying is Eckhart Tolle quoted Christ's teaching when Jesus said, "Do not worry about tomorrow. Today has enough for you to take care of, And he also quoted the other verse is, put your hand to the plow and don't look back. The person who looks back is not fit to be part of the kingdom of God. And so he was talking about those in a mystic way. If you look at those as Christ teaching us how to free ourselves from suffering. Oh, that was in chapter 1. Now I remember that. This was in chapter 2, what I was just saying from In the Power of Now with Eckhart Tolle. But you don't have to read it. You can if you want. But chapter 1, he said the Buddha described enlightenment as the end of suffering, or no more suffering. And so when we've had a lot of childhood abandonment or trauma or, drama in relationships, some people are addicted to drama. I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that, because I was in a relationship for a long time, and it didn't feel like there was a lot of drama, but sometimes, we're called to different things in our relationships. We're called, I always want more intimacy, more and more intimacy within myself, but we can't. It's not about blaming other people. It's about understanding why we're afraid of it in ourselves. Find that. Rumi says, do not seek for love, instead seek to understand and remove all the barriers between yourself and love. But I won't just give you a bunch of sayings. Let's figure out how to get in the now. Because in the now, what Jesus was saying, what he was teaching us mystically, is when we're not thinking ahead of the future and projecting what could happen, what couldn't happen, my worries about what could happen, and we're not going in the past. They were saying, I know when you think about that saying, put your hand to the plow, don't look back, it's because you want to sow good seeds in your life. You want them to grow. You want seeds of love, let's say. Mine, I want seeds of love. I want everyone to have more love. Like Johnny Appleseed, planting apple seeds all over so that they can grow later and people can be nourished by the apples that are grown. But the person who plows, you make rows of seeds with your plow, and if you're looking back, if you keep looking back, your row gets out of line and these seeds don't have enough space. I kept getting the image, maybe that was given to me, of like a rose, like life is like a rose, you want to hold it open in your hand. You don't want to crush it, because you want to be gentle with life. And sometimes it's important to be powerful and use your power and use it strongly. I guess there's a time for gentleness and a time for strength. But I'm bringing this up because I know when we find a way to be in the now, sometimes we'll try to grab hold of that, like make this now last forever, like in The Sound of Music, when they were in, where were they? Salzburg, Vienna, Austria, somewhere out there, having their picnic. Oh, I got to visit it. Salzburg. My train broke down when I was traveling in Europe one time, so I got to visit, and I went on this Sound of Music tour bus, but I don't need to go into that. But what a memory from the movie, The Sound of Music, that comes up in my mind, it was like this, one of the kids who, they portray them as like never having fun, and then when the father, Captain Von Trapp is gone, Maria takes them in her wild ways, and they learn how to sing and run around and have a picnic and wear like drapes for clothing and just have fun. And so one of the kids is like, can we stay here forever? Can we come here every day? And so we have that longing, and there's nothing wrong. There's an innocence in that longing. There's nothing wrong in that longing. I've really, really been working on not judging myself, just being present to observe my thoughts, but not attached to them. Because I love what Eckhart Tolle was saying too in chapter 1 of the book, Power of Now, is talking about we can be addicted to our thoughts. And so our thoughts, Daskalos talks about this too. There's a Christian mystic healer called Daskalos, Dailenis Attaché from Cyprus. And he talks about how you grow your thoughts, and your thoughts become their own kind of entities, and you put energy in them. Like if I smoke all day, I keep putting energy in smoking, or if I'm gossiping all day, I keep putting energy in, and I develop brain patterns too, brain pathways. They're just like pathways here, like the trails and stuff that I go on. Pathways get developed in your brain where you can keep going back to that same kind of behavior because it's automatic behavior. But, okay, so the more you learn how to be present in the now, there's a bee right there on that. I can't zoom in, maybe one will come over here. There's a little yellow flower. When you learn how to be present in the now, it helps you get to this expansive place in your heart, to the more essence of who you are, away from your suffering. Freeing yourself from addictions. And gosh, look at addictions for a second, because he was mentioning some in the book, and not as a judgment at all, you guys. I'm not making this for us to judge any of whatever what we call our ego. Our ego loves to beat us up and put ourselves down. What is this? Oh, sweat. Okay. What is that dripping down my leg? I'm not wearing shorts like these runner shorts that I'm wearing. Anyway, so what our addictions will do, even if you think about smoking, let's say, and I'm sorry if you're just trying to get over it right now, and like, of course this video manifested in your life, but it's like, it's an action that puts you in the now. If people run after, hooking up with people or something like that, even that action, I was thinking about that on my walk, it puts you in the now. You can have that with your spouse. If you learn how to be present with them and have a loving relationship, then it's a beautiful way to be in the now. Praying actually puts you in the now. Meditation puts you in the now. Nature often puts us in the now. Sometimes when people drink, alcohol, it slows down our thoughts and puts us in the now. What I do is I run down, see those rocks over there? It's kind of like that, but it's on my Instagram, but it's with the Big Star song in one of my stories. I put love life. I was talking about how to love your life, and then I looked at it one day, and I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like I'm saying this is my love life. And I'm like, this is not my love life. This is about how to love life. I don't know if I'll keep that. I was laughing so hard when I realized that, because I just do my whatever I'm inspired to do. But in one of those is the story that I posted where I'm running down this mountain over here. It's over there on the other side of those trees. And it has all these rocks. And I love running down. I love the rush of running down. And people go really carefully and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm not trying to like show off or anything. It's just so intense to, especially if I have a good song going, even if I don't. I like going without songs sometimes too. But and I realized it today. I'm like, why do I love doing that? Not to analyze everything that I love doing, but it's like, I love doing that because it brings you into the now and it makes you forget about everything else and really present. And you're risking like getting hurt or whatever. And I never do. I don't. And I'm not risking it that bad, whatever. But people will, jump out of airplanes and stuff like that, do intense things. Sometimes we've had intense experiences in our childhood and we want something intense to bring us out of that pain because we don't know that we can heal that. Oh my gosh, my hair, I have no idea why I left with my hair like this today, but I know it was the timing. I think it was the timing because I had this inclination I had to leave the house, like it's time to go now and start running. And then I'm like, oh gosh, in my inner mind, I'm like, how long do I have to run? Because I didn't feel like running today. It's so funny though, because I keep running into the same woman. I won't say her name right now. She knows who she is because we run into each other almost every day, anywhere we are. Like I will be at the beach and she'll be walking up and I'll be walking down. It's the weirdest thing. But of course, today I'm going on the trail and I saw her walking her dog and I'm like, hey, hello, I'll see you tomorrow. We talk, but it's great. But it was really weird because I was like, oh, do I want to do anything to my hair? Because I just washed it and it's wild right now. And it was like, no, I got this feeling in my intuition, just it's time to go. But maybe so I could run into Sarah yet again because, I said her name. I don't think she minds. That's her first name. Cheryl and Sarah. And Sarah means princess. So, but I run into her all the time. It's so weird. But anyway, so that was just like another fun rendezvous. But anyway, so going back to the now. When you learn how to get in the now, you're giving yourself what your soul craves. And so Jesus was talking about it when he says, don't worry about tomorrow. Of course, we have all sorts of plans that we can make and, scheduling or whatever people choose to do. I don't know. I'm not saying don't take care of yourself and don't, whatever people do, like budget and whatever, but not worry about tomorrow. Hi. Sorry. I'm making a video down here. Oh, it's fine. Oh my gosh, totally frightened, those people. Speaking of being in the now, he's going to be more in the now for the next 20 minutes. I know it. Like he's shaking it off right now. Anyway, I guess I ought to not go right where the vista is. At least I wasn't like the mangy bobcat that I saw the other day. All right, so back to why we crave the now, because our soul wants to be known and our essence is known when we get in the now. When we run after like pleasure-seeking activities, I think part of the pleasure of them is they bring us into the now. But you can get into the now without chasing after all of those, because what was I reading about? I was reading about like if we keep seeking highs, then we keep depending on those highs to make us high, and I'm all about learning how to get that in your own self, how to find out what you're actually craving and stop finding it in destructive ways or ways that take from other people or hurt other people or hurt yourself. I think when I sing and I play guitar, it brings me into the now, and it brings my audience, whoever the audience is, into the now. I keep thinking, the Lord is my shepherd, there's nothing I lack. I'm lacking nothing. When you get into the now, you realize, again, that's all there is right now. Right now, you're interacting with me right now. Oh, it does remind me of something that Elliot told me. Elliot was talking to me about music and how you're, when you listen to a song, I don't know exactly what all he was saying. It was really cool, obviously. But I'm talking about Elliot Smith. He was one of my friends, and we were having this conversation one time. And he was saying, like, art, the painter paints the painting, and you look at the painting, and you are entering into a now as you observe that. But he was saying in music, the musician is traveling in time with you in each present moment, and how it was a different kind of art form where the musician is with you. I just remember it sticking out. I don't know all why I'm saying it right now or what it's bringing up, but I'm like, you can't see the hawks over there, can you? I'm always saying, there's 3 hawks over there, 3 little birds. So, you can respect and understand that, I know, how the now brings you to a powerful place. It can. Obviously, if we're craving it so much and all these different things, it can bring us into a powerful place. And so it's important to learn how to get there. And of course, so I visited Rumi's grave in October, and I love Rumi. I loved him before that. I wrote him a poem when I heard in German that we were going to visit his grave. I thought it was going to be that day, but it ended up not being that day. It was the next day, because I don't know what today in Tag is in German. Anyway, so, or they changed the plans, and I never knew where we were going. It was really fun in a way, because you just had to keep surrendering me as the only American there. Well, besides the guide who was half from here, but lives in Germany now. Anyway, we went to Rumi's grave, and so I wrote this poem to Rumi, and when I was there, I got all this understanding. It was really weird. It's like all of Rumi's poetry. This is like what a person is. I carry the essence of all my knowledge, all my DNA, all my ancestors, everything that I am in my consciousness. I bring that, and your subconscious has access to it right now. And so you're being affected by the development of consciousness in my being. And so that's our gift to other people. Eckhart Tolle was saying that a fire, you could just have a small amount of consciousness, but if you're around a big log of consciousness, like Christ or Rumi or the Buddha, or someone who was deeply in presence, who had that flame burning in them, then it can wake you up really fast. And so we want to be around other people who are highly enlightened, because it wakens up the consciousness of our own fire. It can do it fast. And so what I was saying is, and so your work on this, being in the now and raising your consciousness, is loving. It's loving. It's a service of love that brings love to everyone who crosses your path in whatever way they cross it, like Sarah and I, who keep running into each other everywhere. Like, who knows why we are passing, but like, my kids will see their teacher every day for all of the school year, so they get a lot of that woman or man's essence. But also, each of the teachers get a taste of an experience of the essence of my children. And my children they're deep souls. They're like old souls. It's such a gift to be able to love them and care for them. But what I was saying is when I was in Rumi's grave, bikers, nice. Oh, you can hear them just go right by. I talk to the bikers sometimes. I'm like, how are you doing? Like, oh, amazing, because they're going up these hills and they're going down them. It's really fun, and they're in the now. But anyway, at Rumi's grave, it's like I could. It's so hard to describe, but in my intuitive mind, it was like I could hear all of Rumi's poems at once. It's just like when St. John went to the cave in Patmos, and I've been to that cave. He got the book of Revelation. Like, he went up and I don't know. The cave is like a womb. I won't go into all of it, but so now when I hear someone quote Rumi, I'm like, oh, that's Rumi showing up on my path again, because he said, in a way, I got this feeling that he would be my teacher, one of them. I know this is mystical to you guys if you're not exposed to that. If you are, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not, then I welcome you to start entering into more mystery in your life. It's a lot more fun. It's like living in Harry Potter world instead of being a muggle. Just saying, not a slang word, not a slur though. Not any kind of, we're all called to go on different paths. But anyway, I love the mystical path. So Eckhart Tolle quoted Rumi, and Rumi said, we go into the future and the past both veil our path to God. They veil our experience of God. Burn them both with fire. And I was reflecting on that on my walk, and it's like you don't have fire in yourself when you keep dissipating yourself. If I kept going out, oh my gosh, I didn't know if I wanted to talk about it, but I tried a dating site, and I'm like, forget this. I deleted that thing, and like, never. And I mean, I never want to say never, but I never feel like I'm ever going back to one of those again. It was so horrible. And I'm sure that there are good people on it, because I know someone that I know that I love dearly that met someone on that same app. But that relationship didn't turn out anyway. So it just goes to show that person that I love dearly was on that app. That's good. But what was I going to say about it? Oh, yes, dissipate. If I wanted to dissipate all my time and energy and go date people, which I don't want to do right now, then it's like it can take away from, it doesn't seem like it's taking away from anything. And I'm not saying don't interact with people. It's important to interact with people and love people deeply. And be open to love. Like, I'm open to love, like showing up, not where it shows up on this Vista and like someone is like, whatever. But if I was chasing after one relationship after another, and I kept thinking that that's what's going to make me happy, then I'm not letting this fire develop inside of my consciousness to burn up what Rumi was saying. Rumi was saying, burn up the future, burn up the past. Like, stop. If I keep replaying my old wounds from my past, and I know they affect me in my everyday life, but if I keep playing them, and you hurt me this way, and you hurt me that way, and then I keep stuck in that loop, I'm not present right here with you guys in this video and making this. I'm not present in my own life. If I made videos all day, I had to take a break from all social media. I did that. I didn't watch any YouTube videos, except for I think one. My kid was trying to show me about a veggie burger. It's like, it looked really gross. Sorry. I'm glad if you're vegetarian, but just the way they were making it. But anyway, is so see it how it can just it taking a break, fasting from something that you don't have to fast from, but that you see you give a lot of energy to or attention, like TV or news or drama, or that's what I was saying earlier. People sometimes can grow up with a lot of drama, and it's the only way they know how to have intimacy with the people in their family is through fighting and drama. And so they create drama and problems in order to get an intense experience. And it creates a now intense experience. But why? Why when you can just sit here in nature and be at peace? I remember asking one of my friends, I was like, what are you doing? I don't understand. What are you doing? And this person was like, I'm relaxing. It's so surprising to me. I was like, what is that? And I remember in Montreal, I had to have a definition for it, of course. I didn't ask it from this friend, but relax means to let go, and to let go of your hold, you know? And so when you're in the now and you're not ruminating about what happened in the past and some injustice before, or is this person going to love me in the future, or am I going to get rejected in the future, or am I going to have money in the future, or security, or whatever? It's like, look at all we have right now. Like, the Lord is my shepherd, there's nothing I lack. Not to quote Bible verses or anything. The Psalms, it's a psalm, it's a song anyway. It's a song. It's like I have everything I need in this moment. There's the fullness of love in this moment. I was doing a meditation the other day. I was actually talking to my spiritual director about what she wanted me to meditate on next, and I just started crying, because imagine that, you guys haven't seen me cry before, because I was like, oh, what am I afraid of? To sit with Christ again, you know? You guys have seen in my other videos, like this mystical picture of Jesus that my friend gave me on my trip when I was in Turkey. This older man gave me this picture of Christ that he had carried in his wallet. But I think I was just afraid, in that moment, I was afraid of Christ rejecting me, like not wanting me to be with him. It was really weird, because I don't always think like that at all. It's just different things surface in different times of your life when different things get provoked from childhood or whatever, you know. But it's really amazing when you do sit and you meditate and you allow those feelings to come up and you don't identify with them. That's not all of who I am. I'm not afraid that I was worried I was going to be rejected. It felt like such a relief to say it and to cry and to be like, oh, well, I guess we'll find out if I am rejected by Christ or by myself or not. Go there and you'll find out. If we keep running away from that insecurity, that pain, to all the things that we run to in order to create an intense now moment, because we don't know that we can be in a peaceful now moment. We can listen to these birds and be in a peaceful now. We could be in a relationship and have an intimate knowing of presence, like I was describing in the one day that I got to experience with one of my friends. Those kinds of now. Even if with that friend, if I started trying to chase that same day over again, because we got to meet up again, and it's like I called it, you know, it's like last time all our goal was just to get you out of the house, because he had been in his house for forever, you know, because of all of what was going on. And we agreed, like, let's just have that be our goal today again, you know, so that you're not chasing after the experience of what you would even experience before, just be in the now. And that put us in the now because we were already out of his house, you know. And if we keep looking back to see who wronged us, or if I did this perfectly, or judging ourselves, or thinking, are they going to judge me in the future? I'm not taking the opportunities as well that are presented to me now because I'm so worried about who's going to judge me when I post this video or whatever, you know. I posted the last song that I did, Scar, you know, Missy Higgins. I just felt like singing it that day. And I didn't post the first version of the song, but just I did the second one, and I felt called to just, all right, that's it. I'm not doing more, and it is what it is. But I didn't like part of it because I was really loud in it. But maybe I was meant to be loud in it for some reason, or I was singing a song about not selling out yourself, and then I was singing the song like I thought I ought to be singing. You know, it's kind of ironic. But I was still being myself. It doesn't matter. It's just learning how to cherish yourself in this now and find the power and the peace. There's so much love and peace and joy when you let go. All right, thanks for joining me here. I wish you guys so much love. All I'm doing, who knows what I'm doing, but I know in my heart I have love, and I want to bring people to more love and authenticity in their life, and less pain from childhood, and less unconscious acting out of our pain from childhood, and running to things that keep us from intimacy, and running to things that keep us from knowing ourselves and being in our truest power to be effective lovers in this world. Lovers and receiving of love and being present in love. All right, much love. I love you.